Handa na ba you?
Handa na mi.
Handa na mi.
Handa na mi.
Handa na mi.
Handa na.
May isa kang pwedeng maging abogado, Secretary Panelo, Solzon Calida.
Grabe yun, sobra yun.
Pili nuts. Ibig sabihin, pili lang po kayo ng isa. Inday Sara or Manny Pacquiao?
Manny Pacquiao.
PGMA or PRRD?
PRRD.
Ang hirap naman ng sagot ng tanong.
Galing ng mga question mo, hindi nga.
Charot or true lulu? Charot po, not true. Ang true lulu is totoo.
These don't mean anything.
Nahuli ka na ba ni Mrs.?
Charot!
Ang Ilonggo ba, kahit galit malambing pa rin?
Trolala.
True lulu po.
Trololo.
Naniniwala ka ba sa mga alien?
Chereret.
Sulong mga kapatid o urong mga kapatid? Anti-terror law.
Urong mga kapatid, hindi lang kapatid, mga kamag-anak, lahat na, urong.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lord Duera.
Wherever you
And now, the end is near.
Magazine.
Malat kayo pala.
I am woman.
Maraming hindi naniniwalang may forever eh.
Hindi pa niya ako kilala, mahal ko na. Anong bahagi ng iyong katawan ang gusto mong ibalik sa dati? Nagtatapos.
It's been a wonderful experience kung pag-guest ko sa inyong show.
I really enjoyed the interview.
Ngayon lang ako nakaranas ng ganito.
Patanggal natin.
Maraming salamat, lalo na sa ratatat.
Ratatat! Ratsadang tanong, tapatan at tarang, tahan.
Good morning! Happy Wednesday! It's September 22, 2021. Samahan niyo muli kami sa ilang minutong balitaan dito lamang sa Politiskoop.
Politiskoop.
Ako si Ina Andolong.
Michael Fajatin po, pasensya na ang daming nakalaylay na mga wire sa akin dahil bumagsak po ang internet dito sa aking kinalalagyan. Kaya I'm using the phone. Pasensya na po. Pero very good Wednesday tayo dahil meron tayong guest na mahirap kunin
Oo,
at minsan-minsan na lang. O ngayon lang
Alam
siya
mo, I
nag-introduce
googled,
sa sarili.
oo, I googled her, of course, for research. Parang isa pa lang ang nakita kong interview niya on TV. Or actually, online yata. Online pa yata yun. So, we're very thankful that she agreed to go on our program this morning. Okay?
Kasi ang kanyang principal hindi pa nag-a-announce kaya hindi pa siya.
Hindi pa talagang assuming kung sakali. For sure may announcement naman pala. Sorry.
Marami kasi nag-aabang sa announcement. Ito talagang lagi nagta-top sa charts ang kanyang principal, ang kanyang pagiging spokes dito sa principal na ito. Sige, introduce mo na, Ina. I'm so excited ng ating mga manonood.
Speaking of announcements, sunod-sunod na po kasi ang pag-anunsyo ng mga tatakbong presidente sa 2022. Pagkatapos nina Senator Ping Lacson at Senator Manny Pacquiao, kampo naman po ni Manila Mayor Isko Moreno ang nagkumpirmang sasali rin sa presidential race si Yorme at ang kanyang running mate si Dr. Willie Ong.
At bago ko basahin ang aking intro sa story ito, kanina lamang o kagabi pala, I received a text message na merong isa pang announcement sa Friday. Yan. Abangan nyo, meron pang isang i-announce ko na kasi expected na ito. Oo. Kasi nag-announce si Attorney Larry Gadon, yan, 'di ba? Na meron daw Zoom meeting sa Friday na siya ay isang senador, pero i-announce na daw nila ang kanilang pambato sa KBL. Siyempre KBL, sino pa, 'di ba? Kundi si Bongbong Marcos ang mag-a-announce sa Friday. Pero bago yan, sino kaya ang susunod na mag-a-anunsyo? Ito na yun talaga yun. Wala pang klarong pambato ang Malacanang. Magbabago kaya ang isip na Senator Bongo? O baka naman, muling ikonsidera ni Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte Carpio ang pagtakbo bilang Pangulo. Yan.
Yes, ang panauhin natin ngayon, ang tagapagsalita. Ito talaga official ha, spokesperson.
Yan, official.
Was
Yan.
designated. So kung sino bang ibang nagsasalita dyan, hindi sila
Bala kayo dyan. Bala kayo
na
dyan.
ina-appoint. Okay. Siya po ang tagapagsalita ni Mayor Sara Duterte Carpio, si Liloan, Cebu, Mayor Christina Frasco. Good morning,
As
ma'am.
beautiful as
morning.
Mayor Sara. Yan.
May buntag.
May buntag.
Tagang salamat.
Very similar sila for me ni Mayor Sara. Watching her, your interview, ma'am, and other, of course, very pleasant looking,
Yeah.
soft-spoken, lawyers. Parang I find them very similar. So speaking of, ma'am, paano ba kayo naging, let's start off with your relationship with Mayor Sara. I'm just curious, how did you and Mayor Sara become close? Because you have to be close if she specifically wanted you to speak for her.
Yes.
In 2016, when President Duterte ran for president, Mayor Sara visited Cebu to campaign for her father. And in the 5th district of Cebu, my husband and I were the only ones who welcomed her in Liloan, back then when my husband, Duke Frasco, was the mayor. Subsequent to that, we signed a sisterhood agreement and between Liloan and Davao. And since then, we've developed a relationship of mutual trust and respect. And for me, it's a great honor to be her spokesperson and to represent what she stands for.
Konting intro, guys, ha. Attorney. Yan. Attorney Christina. Actually, ang pangalan ni ma'am ay, if I'm not mistaken, Maria Esperanza. Yan, galing, no? Maria Esperanza Christina. Yan. Garcia Frasco. She is the daughter of Governor Gwen Garcia. Diba? She's a lawyer, she's a mom, she's a mayor of Liloan, and now the spokesperson. Yan. Okay, Ina, sige, go.
You did your research.
Sige ba?
Ma'am, pero were you informed on what issues Mayor Sara wanted you to speak about, before we start asking questions lang then, just to be clear? Kasi I assume it's not gonna be about, her as mayor of Davao because you're from Cebu. Di ba? Ano bang issues ang palagay ni Mayor Sara ang kailangan sagutin na lang po ng ibang tao bilang, you being her spokesperson?
Well, there's really no limitation as far as any issues are concerned. But the provenance of my becoming her spokesperson was really back in July when she came to Cebu to seek local consultations with local leaders in connection with her openness to run for a national post. This is all before the agreement that she made with President Duterte that only one Duterte would run for a national post.
Kaya nga before, kasi my question is, if you are a spokesperson, yan, syempre, you'll be needing a spokesperson for a national position. That is why, parang ganun po, no? If you are a spokesperson, marami talaga mabubuhayan ng loob, lalo na yung mga taga-suporta po ni Mayor Sara, that eventually, the spokesperson becomes the presidential spokesperson. Ibig sabihin, yan na po yun. So, the question is, ma'am, yung tanong po ni Ina kanina, specifically on your being chosen as the spokesperson of Mayor Sara. Ano po bang, bukod sa closeness niyo, ma'am, no? I'm just curious. Ano pong similarities niyo ba ni Mayor Sara? Di ba parang pag spokesperson po kasi, syempre you're mirroring, di ba? You're representing a person. Ano pong similarities yung, aside from the closeness, meron po ba kayong parang same values, same stance on so many things? That is why you agreed to be spokesperson?
Well, first of all, on a personal level, we're both women and we're both mothers who try every day to strike a balance between our roles as mothers of our families and mothers of our respective constituencies. I'd like to believe we're also similar in a sense that we're both very organized and pragmatic in that we like to organize, plan, and consider all things before we implement And being women in public service, I believe we're driven by the same values of compassion, service, and being lawyers. We're both governed by the rule of law and to temper the application of the law with a tinge of compassion as we try to uplift the lives of our constituencies. So I firmly believe in Mayor Sara's abilities as a mayor, and I believe that the people of Davao have also affirmed this in that she currently enjoys a 92% approval rating based on recent surveys that were conducted in the city of Davao.
Follow up, Ina, if you've not have a question yet. Being opposites attract naman po, ano po yung ano naman? Diba parang there's a balance din between two persons two people. Hindi naman kayo nanununtok, ma'am, ano? Wala naman kayong ganong side or you're not a biker chick. You're not a biker chick po. Yung mga ganun bang klaseng side po ni Mayor Sara? Do you, kunyari, when she becomes that other side of the person, kayo po ba or may experience po ba kayo na you pacify or you have differing opinions para po nagkakaroon kayo ng outcome na medyo balanced naman? I don't know if that makes sense to you.
It does. Being women in public service, the challenge is actually greater because we are often overlooked and considered weak as far as the ability to stand up and stand firm is concerned. But as Mayor Sara has demonstrated in the past, when the people need somebody to fight for them, she will do that. And when push comes to shove, she will put herself on the front lines and fight the necessary battles. I'd like to believe that we share the same values in that sense.
You see, you're both troubleshooters then, no? Mayor Sara, learning from her dad, and you learning from your mom. You're a former consultant din po kasi of Cebu, no? You did so many troubleshooting. That is why parang you parang grounded kayo po sa inyong distrito at sa inyong probinsya. Ganun po ba?
Well, we're both children of public servants who have had long records of service to the public. And at the same time, while we may be the children of our parents, we have also both tried to stand up on our own performance and stand up for our own beliefs as well. And specific to Mayor Sara, since I'm her spokesperson, no, this effort to carve out an identity that is both reflective of, but at the same time independent, as Mayor Sara Duterte is very well reflected in her performance as Mayor of Davao City. As far as I'm concerned, in Liloan, I'm very grateful for all the lessons I've learned from my mother, Governor Gwen. First and foremost, she has instilled in me an indefatigable love for Cebu. And that is what drives me to continue to serve the people of Liloan. As the years have passed, I've also developed my own leadership style, as Mayor Sara has as well in the city of Davao. So it's really all about being grateful for the lessons we've learned from our predecessors, but at the same time trying to carve out a new path where you're able to implement things that are close to your heart and take from the values that have been taught to you, but at the same time also move forward with a sense that you have an opportunity to serve in a manner that you yourself deem fit and in a manner that would justify the people's trust in you.
Yeah, new generation. Ina?
Well, now that we've gotten to know a little bit more about Mayor Christina Frasco, let's move on. Okay, sa pagiging spokesperson niya na talaga. Well, as we've said in our intro po kanina, no, medyo sunod-sunod na yung nag-a-announce ng kanilang plano, specifically yung mga gusto tumakbo for, o yung may mga plano ng tumakbo for President in 2022. Of course, still ang tanong ng napakaraming may pag-asa pa bang magbago ang isip ni Mayor Sara about running for president? Is she also maybe going to make an announcement before the filing period?
Unang-una, nagpapasalamat talaga si Mayor Sara sa lahat ng ating mga kababayan na patuloy na nagpakita ng suporta nila, no, for her to run as president of our country. This notwithstanding her declaration that she would not run. Very recently, she reiterated that hindi siya tatakbo for a national position. Consistent with the president that only one Duterte would run for a national position. And since President Duterte has not changed his stance and is indeed running for vice president as the nominee of PDP, Mayor Sara is also consistent with her position that she will respect the family agreement to field only one Duterte in the national elections.
Mama, I'd like to get to the root of that. Yung sinasabi niyo na yung kanilang usapan po ng kanyang ama on only one Duterte would run. Is this rooted or anchored on a perception of a political dynasty? Is that the reason?
It's anchored on a preference on the part of the family, which I think we have to respect without any tinge of suspicion. For them, it is just and right to field only one in the national post, as the other members of the Duterte family continue to serve their constituency in Davao. Now, as far as political dynasty is concerned, this is a term that has been loosely thrown by certain quarters, perhaps to derail any intention to run for a national post and to belittle any accomplishments that Mayor Sara has had in her performance as local chief executive. In and of itself, political dynasty is not defined by law. While it may be prohibited in the Constitution, there is no executory law defining it. And so, as long as we remember that the people have democratic elections every 3 years and every 6 years, I think that the issue of political dynasty is not really as heavy as some quarters may think. As a matter of fact, in recent surveys, the people themselves have expressed a preference for a Duterte tandem. And here we can see that not being forced, not being controlled to speak their minds, that the father and daughter come together to continue to lead our country. That's not to say that Mayor Sara is in favor of that idea, but rather we can see that in the Philippines, the Filipino people are intelligent enough to think for themselves as to who they would prefer. So that, I believe, is the answer to the issues thrown as far as political dynasty is concerned. Nonetheless, in Davao City itself, Mayor Sara has very competently proven herself effective as mayor. Not only is she the daughter of the president, and certainly she has inherited certain characteristics that would make her effective as a local chief executive, but at the same time, she has very clearly and independently carved out her own identity and can stand on her own merits and the merits of her performance as mayor.
Exactly, ma'am. The reason why, I just follow up. The reason why I asked that, clearly you have fair enough and well explained po that yung merits po, and it's a political process and a democratic process in itself. And political dynasty out of the way, why would they talk about only one Duterte when they can run separately and let the people decide on their own merits, as they're not running in the same position, if ever, they can run with their own merits. Na Mayor Sara can run as president and her father can run as vice president. independently or separate from each other. So why have this talk na only one Duterte? If you're saying, ma'am, and if Mayor Sara is saying, na you can choose, diba? You can choose from, you have a freedom to choose, and there is no political dynasty here because this is a democratic process. Why that talk, ma'am? Yun lang po yung aking inaano dito. Kasi ako, believing that Mayor Sara has her own merits, di ba? Let the people decide if they want her to be president. Parang ganun po yung aking pagbalanse sa mga bagay-bagay. Don't you see that kind of choice for the people to make?
I can see that certainly, but again, it all comes down to a preference on the part of the family. So it was a decision that was reached by the family, and it is a decision that the family has decided to stick to at this point in time.
Personal po ang ibig sabihin. Yan. Sige.
Yes.
This is a follow-up to my question earlier. You said that since President Duterte has not changed his mind about running for VP, so Mayor Sara will not run for president. But is it also an option for Mayor Sara, considering if talagang continuous po yung call ng maraming grupo for her to run for president, isn't it an option for her to maybe tell her dad and try to convince her dad to take a step back so that she be the Duterte na tumakbo? Is that possible? Or is she going to let the president, her dad, decide first and then she's going to take a few from there?
Well, Mayor Sara is very respectful of the independence of her father as far as political decisions are concerned. And this independence of which Mayor Sara also would like for her father to bestow as far as Mayor Sara's decisions are concerned. In the end, on the president, as far as his decision to continue on the path of running for vice president. And at this point, it's difficult to delve on hypothetical situations since the facts on the ground is that President Duterte has not changed his mind and he is firm on his position to run for vice president. Necessarily, Mayor Sara is respectful of that decision in the same way that she would like her father to respect her own decisions as far as politics is concerned.
Ma'am, quick question on the question of Ina. Quick question lang po. How do you respond to critics saying that this is a calibrated, what they call this? Ano yung salita nila? Parang scripted, calibrated. Yeah, mga ganun. Smoke screen. Marami mga words na kinoin dyan. How do you react to that?
That
this is all a script? Is that your question?
Yes, and that in the end it's going to be Mayor Sara pa rin.
Well, what can I say? This is Mayor Sara is very forthright, and she says things like it is, and you can trust that when she speaks, it is not with a tinge of malice or an attempt to trick the people. Rather, so far from all of her public statements and pronouncements, it is really based on what has transpired. And what has transpired is that back in July, she expressed an openness to run for a national office. And in fact, she sought consultations with local leaders for this purpose, demonstrating that she's very much willing to listen to the desires of the Filipino people and that she was open to serve in a national capacity. But a new circumstance arose in that she had a conversation with her father in which her father expressed that he wanted to run for vice president. And then they agreed that only one Duterte would run for president. And so the situation that Mayor Sara is in right now is the one where she's committed to following through on the agreement that she made with her father. there's really not much else to be read into these facts other than that she expressed an openness, they made an agreement, and she's sticking to this agreement. And therefore, she will no longer seek national public office.
As of this time. Tama po.
Yeah.
Well, her decision is based on the
Yes.
agreement with her father. And for as long as her father does not change the course that has started with him accepting the VP nomination, nothing changes as well.
Yeah. I'm sorry guys, that is all we can get sa ating spokesperson. Baka akala nyo talaga may announcement na susunod. Kasi marami po talaga naghihintay. Ma'am, I'll get to yung sinabi nyo po kayo ng limitations, no? As you being spokesperson. So I guess even the stance on political issues, on moral issues, on issues of national concern, alam nyo rin po ang stance po ni Mayor Sara. Am I right?
We have
do I assume, right?
had discussions. We have had discussions on her position on national issues, but at this point, since she's not running for a national position, it may be premature to comment on national issues.
Okay, sige. Hindi national issues, ma'am. Yung normal issues po. Sige, I'll just pick your brain on this. Baka po meron lang kayong sagot, no? Ano pong, I'll be giving you quick issues and ano po yung stance dyan kung sakasakali, no? If you know lang po, no? Kunyari, death penalty po. What is her stance on death penalty?
I cannot answer that.
Wala pa po ganyan. Sige. How about on divorce?
I cannot answer that also.
Okay. LGBT. Yan.
Oh, Mayor Sara very much loves the LGBT community, and I believe the feeling is mutual. And she has deep respect for the talents and the contributions of the LGBT community to our communities and to our country.
West Philippine Sea.
Well, Mayor Sara being... Sounds like it. Mayor Sara being a lawyer, she is well aware of both the local patrimonial laws that govern our seas as well as the international laws that govern our seas. And she is, of course, in favor of standing up for the rights of Filipino citizens to their patrimony. But then, again, this is quite a complicated national issue, which I believe would be premature for me to discuss as far as her stance is concerned.
Contractualization, ma'am.
Well, I think Mayor Sara, as you know, has always stood up for the rights of the underprivileged and those that have not had equal opportunity to employment, no? And so I believe that Mayor Sara, when the time comes, or if faced with such an issue as Mayor of Davao, would definitely stand up for the rights of the vulnerable and unprotected.
Yan. That is a preview of being spokes ni ma'am. Sige, Ina, go.
Pero naman si Michael, parang tinitest mo agad si Mayor Christina sa...
Tinignan ko lang.
Lalabas si Mayor.
Tinitignan ko kasi, sabi niya kasi, there are no limitations as far as, di ba? Sayang kasi ang guesting ni ma'am. Baka naman, Bekenemen, di ba? Sige, go, Ina.
Okay, no, ako I'm curious, ma'am. Has Mayor Sara, since she made the announcement that she's no longer going to run for president, has she ended all her consultations? Diba kasi nag-iikot po siya, consulting nga about whether or not dapat po siyang tumakbo o hindi. Has she ended those? Because I guess she should, if she's really sure about not joining the presidential race now.
Put on hold the other schedules. Siyempre, marami yung fully booked mga schedules na ganyan. Naka-hold po ba yun?
As of now, the concentration of Mayor Sara is to ensure that Davao City continues to battle COVID-19, and she continues to do her duties effectively and well as local chief executive. Since her declaration that she's not running for a national position, I'm not aware of any scheduled trips seeking national consultations as far as running in 2022 is concerned.
Okay.
She is quite cognizant, and she is quite cognizant of the continued outpouring of support for her. In fact, she recently issued a video message thanking her supporters and the no less than 700 parallel groups that still continue to hope that and work that she will run for president in 2022. That's why she's really, really grateful for the trust and confidence that has been reposed on her by our fellow Filipinos.
In that video message, ma'am, that you're talking about, she actually asked for support for her father po, no? For running as vice, supportahan. But would she endorse other candidates like senators or even the presidency?
As of now, the position of Mayor Sara is that she would prefer not to be involved in any national campaign, and she has not expressed otherwise as of now.
Nako, okay. So yung mga gusto man humingi ng support kay Mayor Sara, yung mga tatakbo ng presidente, mukhang malabo. But how about yung mga lumalapit po sa kanya, as Mayor Sara confirmed earlier, na nag-o-offer maging VP running mate, kung sakali baka lang tuloy pa rin ang mga gustong makipag-partner kahit na sinabi na ni Mayor Sara na hindi na siya tatakbo. Meron pa rin po bang, or baka may nadagdag sa listahan?
Well, certainly, many personalities have sought an audience with Mayor Sara and paid their courtesy calls to her, either to visit her as Mayor of Davao or to express their willingness to partner with her for the 2022 national elections. I'm not aware of any new additions to that list, but I think what is clear is that notwithstanding her continued expression of the fact that she will not run for president in 2022, the people and politicians still continue to seek her and wish for her to run for president. In and of itself, that demonstrates the range of influence that she has had in the hearts and minds of people who hope for the type of governance that she has been able to demonstrate in Davao, and who hope as well for a brighter future for our country, led by somebody who is not only competent and strong-willed, but also compassionate and very much willing to the desires of the people. But then again, I bring you back to the agreement that she made with her father. And the fact that President Duterte has expressed a desire to run for VP, and that is why she was no longer seeking a national post.
Yeah, the agreement puts a break, guys. Okay, break muna kayo kay Mayor Sara. Pero itong tanong ko, ma'am, no? If the agreement stems upon the father and daughter talk po, no? Na only one Duterte could run. If and when Mayor Duterte, President Duterte pushes through with his candidacy as vice president and Sara would not run, if and when that happens, is she closing the possibility after the term of the 6th year again, then she might run because for president, kasi wala na pong balakid na usapan na isa lang Duterte. Meron po bang ganon?
To my knowledge, based on her public declarations in the past, she has said that perhaps if not in 2022, then in another presidential election. That is the extent of my knowledge. In any event, no, what we can see is a willingness to serve our fellow Filipinos in a capacity that is larger than what she currently holds as mayor of Davao City. And that's a good first step in the right direction.
Ang follow-up ko lang po doon, di ba, running for presidency is not an overnight decision. Di ba, parang takbo na ako bukas. Hindi po syempre ganun, ano? Syempre, there are comprehensive planning here. And one of the best or expected for any camp to plan for a presidency is to draft a platform of government. Di po ba? I'm sure meron po kayong ganyan na parang nag-draft na kayong platform of government. Can you give us a preview of that? Ano pong hindi, wala na po kaming sinasabi, ma'am. Natatakbo. Wala na kaming sinasabi. Kasi kinwalify nyo na talaga na may usapan ng mag-ama. Yan, parang ganyan. Pero I'm sure you agree with me naman also naman, no? Na there should be planning then. If and when her father does not decide not to run, syempre, she's open na to that. So meron na pong parang draft platform. Can you give us a preview of the draft platform na mga napag-usapan nyo na po?
Before I answer your question.
Fair po yun, ma'am, no? Sige po.
Yeah, before I answer your question, I would just like to lay the basis, as I have this entire interview, that Mayor Sara has expressed that she will not run for President 2022. That being said, if people nonetheless would like a preview of what it would be like under a Sara Duterte presidency, we only need to see what she has done in Davao. Davao is one of the most successful and flourishing local economies in our country. It ranks as one of the top metropolitan cities where quality of life is high, peace and order is very well preserved, and there is a sense of patriotism, citizenship, and discipline as far as the population is concerned. They have faced many challenges, both internally and externally, and they have, as a people, faced great difficulty, whether man-made or acts of God, from terrorist attacks to earthquakes and the like. And yet, the city of Davao continues to be resilient and remains strong and remains one of the top cities in the country, precisely because of the type of leadership that Mayor Sara Duterte has shown to her people, where she's governed by the rule of law, but at the same time, she is able to temper the implementation of the law with a compassion for the people, always putting their needs first. She's the type of person who is not afraid to do what needs to be done and to stand up for what is right when the time comes. But at the same time, she's also very conscious of all the implications of her decision making, and she takes all factors into consideration, which is why, being sensitive and respectful of the decision of her father to run for vice president, she has decided not to run for president. Being a local chief executive, I believe, has armed her with the right experience to be able to lead, whether in a local or in a national capacity. And as far as priorities are concerned, what we can see in Davao is number one in her priority really is the health, well-being, and economic prosperity of her people. And that is what all Filipinos desire, to be able to live a life that is secure and to be able to depend on some sort of stability as far as their government is concerned, being the only way forward, and to have a government that is dependable in times of crisis, and to have leaders that they can turn to in times of joy and strife. And really, that is what Mayor Sara Duterte stands for. She's not the type of leader who's there only when times are not tough, but rather she has really put herself at the forefront of the battles that her city has had to face. And that is why I think she instills hope in people's hearts and minds, because she has shown a new brand of leadership where taking from the lessons of the past, she is able to innovate and move forward and bring her city and her people forward, notwithstanding all the challenges that she faces.
Yan.
Okay.
Oo. Double blade yun, Ina. Yung sinabi ni ma'am, careful siya, di ba? Qualified yung sinabi niya na mayor si Inday Sara. Pero ang sinasabi ni ma'am, reading between the lines, yung mga political analyst dyan, no? Yung mga binanggit niya, yun ang gagawin ni Mayor Sara sa national position din. Yan, let's leave it at that. Ganun po ba, ma'am? No? Ayoko na sa areas, baka sabihin niyo na naman, qualified na naman natin. Pero yun po yun, guys. Yung binanggit ni spokes mayor, ma'am, lawyer, Christina, yun ang i-expect nyo sakali, ngayon siya ay mayor at sakaling siya ay maging pangulo. Sige, Ina, go.
Okay. Ma'am, ako, I want to press further doon sa nabanggit niyo po kanina that as much as possible, Mayor Sara does not want to get involved doon sa ibang national endorse specifically anyone for president. That includes, to be clear, whoever her father may end up supporting for president. Hindi po guaranteed that Mayor Sara will endorse that person, whoever that may be.
Mayor Sara is independent as far as her political decisions are concerned. She respects her thoughts, but she also exercises the independence to think for herself and to stand on her own as far as political decisions are concerned.
Okay, talagang hindi. I'm curious kasi nga we heard about her statements, her sentiments about yung internal issues of PDP laban. Just to be frank, nabuisit ba siya dun sa mga ilang officials ng PDP laban?
Kasi ano yung word na ginamit niya, Ina?
Of her dad.
Anong ginamit niyang word doon? You may recall. Ano ma'am? Kayo na ma'am tatanungin ko. Kayo ang spokes. May ginamit siyang word eh.
Tumaba ang loob ba niya doon sa ilang mga kaalyado ng kanyang ama sa PDP laban?
Well, I think the position of Mayor Sara is that if there are any intentions to run for president, or it would be best if they express it to the Filipino people rather than put her in front of that decision or make her the person upon which that decision is hinged. So that is why she explained in that interview that she had that when her father expressed to her that he wanted to run for vice president with Senator Bongo as president, she suggested that they should express that publicly to the Filipino people. And as far as the PDP laban is concerned, while they have issued many statements with regard to Mayor Sara's preference is really to transcend all the conflict and intramurals that is going on with the PDP, especially that she is not part of the party itself.
Okay, and mali pala ako, ang pinaringgan pala ni Mayor Sara in her statement was from the other faction I mentioned earlier. Okay, Michael, meron ka ba?
Ang aking ako ang tatanong ko lang diyan, ma'am, nakalimutan ko tuloy. Yung ang dami issues na po pwede, no. Excited po talaga kasi mamaya, syempre na si Mayor Sara. Pero yung tanong po ni Ina, follow up ko, yan. 'Di ba? Kung may kumakausap, any of these presidentiables, Isko, sino bang mga nag-announce na? Isko, Lacson, Pacman, and BBM. any of those na bumalik at nakipag-usap sa kanya, sasabihin siguro, Mayor, hindi ka pala tatakbo paki-endorse mo naman ako. Parang ganun. Ganun po ba na nagpaparandam ngayon? O hindi sila naniniwala talagang hindi tatakbo si Mayor Sara? Bigla talaga sinisingit pa talaga no? Sige po, ma'am.
Mayor Sara continues to enjoy the respect and the friendship of many national personalities. And they have continued to seek her audience and her wisdom, her guidance, and calling on her friendship as far as their own intentions are concerned. But at this point, I don't think Mayor Sara has really expressed any preference for anybody that has said that they will run for a national position, because as she has said, and to quote her, they are all my friends.
Yes.
So we cannot also stop them from continuing to court or continuing to seek audiences with Mayor Sara, and certainly that's something that she greatly appreciates, and I believe it's based on mutual respect as well. But she's not said of whom she will endorse at this point.
Yes, ma'am. Kasi even your mother has been visited by presidentiables already, no?
Baka naman gustong mag-name names ni Mayor Christina ng mga bagong nakabisita kay Mayor Sara.
Bikinin.
Ano ka ba sa amin, ma'am? Mga bagong naka-meeting.
Well, what has come out in the news is that Senator Win Gatchalian was recently in Davao to conduct vaccination by the sea, and Mayor Sara was there and has expressed her gratitude as well to him. Previously, also in the past, many months past, she was visited by the Marcoses during her birthday, and she was also visited by former Defense Secretary Gibot Chodoro, and these are the public audiences that she's had with national personalities.
How about yung personal, ma'am? Yung tinatanong po ni Ina, baka merong hindi publicly na bumisita, may personal lang na pumunta. Meron po bang bago?
I'm not aware of any new ones in the recent days.
Ano, Michael? Nako, nag-choppy yata si Michael. He was already... Okay, he's coming back. Wala kang... We can't hear you. Michael? No, we can't hear you. Try to reconnect again. And you have to come back dahil mag-overtime na tayo at magraratatat na tayo. Okay. So wala pong bago, no? The names you mentioned, ma'am, were those reported, as you were just saying. There's nothing that's not been reported yet.
As I know, yes.
Okay. Well, okay. We'll wait for Michael to come back. But siguro ask a last question na lang. I'm sure Michael will make it in a few more minutes. For those saying that voting for Mayor Sara will be just voting for her father again, can you explain to us, ma'am, the difference between Mayor Sara and her father? Some also might be saying that she's like a more refined version of her father. Do you think that's the case?
Well, certainly, Mayor Sara has the blessing of being President Duterte's daughter. And she has certainly appreciated all the lessons that her father has bestowed by way of example as former mayor of Davao and even as president of our country. At the same time, taking from all the good traits that President Duterte has bestowed on Mayor Sara, she has also very clearly established an independence as far as her leadership style in Davao. We can see this in all the innovations that she has applied as local chief executive, in her capacity as well to lead, especially during the time of pandemic, where notwithstanding rising cases, they are able to address efficiently and well the safeguarding of the health and well-being of the Davaoenos, and at the same time implement a very efficient and advanced vaccination program that has seen massive rise in vaccinated persons as far as their targeted population is concerned. Mayor Sara has shown the ability to be pragmatic, organized, and prudent as far as decision making is concerned, always putting at the forefront the welfare of her people. She continues to enjoy a very high approval rating, and 92% of Davaoenos find her to be a trustworthy leader who has done a sterling and excellent job as local chief executive of Davao.
Okay.
I'm
Michael,
back.
are you
Am I back? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Before I was cut off because somebody was calling me, itong mga kaibigan ko pag tumatawag. I'm using my phone, guys, so please do not call me. Okay. Sorry, ma'am, nagkarata. Pero last na lang sana, nakalimutan.
Internet connection issues, ha?
Okay. Yung last ko na lang, ma'am, is ano ba, nakalimutan ko na. Sige, magtatatat na lang tayo. O sige.
Okay, ma'am.
Sorry, ito na. It's coming back. It's coming back. It's coming back. It's coming back. Yeah. Mag-ano mo tayo, mag-relax muna tayo. Yeah. O sige. Ma'am, ito, naalala ko na. Yeah, naalala ko na. Before you came in as the official spokesperson, there are many who are claiming, to be knowing what is in Mayor Inday Sara's mind, mga ganun po, no? One of which pronouncement is the reason why PDP Laban is afraid and fielding another candidate, if not Mayor Sara nga daw, si Senator Bongo, is because they fear that most, if not all of the cabinet members or yung mga nakadikit po sa ating Pangulong Duterte ay hindi po kukunin o ikukonsidera ni Mayor Sara kung sakaling siya po ay tumakbo bilang o manalo bilang Pangulo. Meron po bang ganito talaga? Bilang official spokesperson po, kayo na po magbanggit. Meron po bang ganito?
Well, it's hypothetical, no? And it dwells with things that have not happened, as far as whether or not certain personalities will or will not be appointed. So I feel that it's really quite, it serves no purpose to discuss matters that have not yet occurred, nor is it wise to discuss hearsay and things that have only been insinuated. Mayor Sara is very forthright and she speaks her mind. And I think that it is quite presumptuous to try to presume what she will or will not do given the opportunity.
Fair enough, Counselor, para tayo sa korte. No? Fair enough, Counselor.
Marami mga asimero nga naman eh.
Hindi ako yun, yung mga nagbabanggit. O meron pa isa, baka makalimutan ko. Ito, nakakalimutan ko. Kaya ino yung mga sigit pa. Isa pa, meron pang ganyang mga pronouncements. Ano ba? Wait lang. Ito, sorry. Ito, naalala ko na. Yan. Meron po mga iba rin na nagsasabi na Mayor Sara is not really satisfied with some. Ito na po, no? Ika-qualify na natin. Some cabinet members are not performing well and it reflects on her father. Parang ganun po, nagtitiwala po yung ama niya with some cabinet members at hindi sila nagpa-perform. Ito, can you say with some qualifications naman na she's not satisfied with some of the cabinet members' performance of President Duterte?
Well, I think on the part of Mayor Sara, she has not publicly commented on the performance of certain cabinet members. What she has tried to do, however, is to concentrate on what she needs to do as far as being mayor is concerned, faced with also trying to reconcile that with the pronouncements and the actions of the national government. That is the challenge that all local chief executives face.
Exactly. Including you.
To maintain your autonomy as a local government unit, while at the same time being able to reconcile that with the position of the national government. And it continues to be a challenge, I must say. But at the same time, what we've seen, especially as far as Davao is concerned, is that she is consistent in that she makes her own decisions as mayor, and this is evident in the executive orders that she has issued. At the same time, she has made room for the implementation of IATF resolutions, and she reflects these as well and quotes these in her EOs. Her ability to work together with the national government as well as cabinet secretaries is also evident in the implementation of national government programs in Davao itself, including the implementation of big ticket infrastructure programs and even the rollout of the vaccination program in Davao, as well as national security issues that affect Davao City itself. So what we've seen is that Mayor Sara can work with anybody because she is quite cognizant and aware of what her responsibilities are, and she is quite capable of working with any situation that is thrown her way, no matter who the personalities are, as long as it serves the purpose of protecting the general welfare of her constituency.
Sige.
Okay ka na, Michael, ha?
Last na lang.
Oh my God.
Yung banggit po na Davao Group, kasi I need to ask this, ma'am, kasi baka sabihin naman nila, di namin tinanong sa inyo. Yung Davao Group, may Davao Group, meron po ba siyang reaction? Oo, meron po ba siyang reaction dyan? Kasi this certain Davao Group are prominent now in the Senate investigations, in alleged anomalies, in so many things na sinasabi may Davao Group that brings down or somewhat casts aspersion sa kanyang ama. Ano po, meron po ba siyang saloobin tungkol dito? Kasi nasa Davao po yun.
She has not expressed to me her opinion on this particular issue or the issues of late.
Ayan, sige. Sabi ko sana, bubuntalin ni Mayor Sara yan kung sakaling may katotohanan. Sige, go! Ratatat na tayo.
Okay, po tayo. Mayor Christina, ang ibig sabihin po talaga ng ratatat ay ratsadang tanong, tapatan, at tarantahan.
Yeah.
So, mabilisang tanungan at sagutan lang po. Usually, one-word answers lang naman po. And you can give an explanation if you want, pero as much
It's a
as
free country.
possible, keep it short para mabilis po tayo.
At ito ay breather na, ma'am. So, pwede na tayo mag-smile. Ito ay fun na lang po ito. We will start this segment by asking you a millennial question. Handa na ba you? Yan. And upon responding to us na handa na me, we will start na po, ma'am. Okay? Okay. Ina, tanungin na natin si Mayor Maria Esperanza Christina Garcia Frasco. Handa na ba you?
Handa na mi!
Ratatat! Ratsadang tanong, tapatan at taran-tahan.
Okay, the first part is pili nuts. Pili lang po kayo ng isa sa mga sasabihin ko. Poems, flowers, or a serenade?
Sorry, can you repeat that? You got cut off.
Oh, pili nuts. Pili lang po kayo ng isa sa mga sasabihin ko. Poems, flowers, or serenade?
Poems.
Plants or pets?
Sorry?
Plants or pets?
plants.
Boy next
Plantita.
door or bad boy?
My husband.
Anyway, galing mo ni Mayor.
Siyempre.
Ano ba to? Demure or wild?
Demure.
Demure. Biker chick or socialite?
Bit of both.
Yeah.
Okay. Ano po ang pinakamahirap? Being mayor, being lawyer, or a mom?
Pareho lang sila. I think being
Pareho.
mayor though is very, very challenging.
Okay. Ito naman po. Gibo Chodoro, Sherwin Gatchalian, or Martin Romualdez?
Yan. Wala lang po yan, ma'am, ha? Wala lang.
Could mean
They're all our friends.
Ayaw pumili. Okay, ito
Bakit
po.
pili ka isa lang, ha? Sige, go.
Ito. Isko, Stockman, BBM, or Ping Lacson?
Mayor Sara.
Okay.
Wala naman sa choices.
I don't know if this is possible. Personally, ano ang mas gusto mong piliin ni Mayor Sara?
Personal na po
Being
to,
mayor
personal
or
lang.
president?
Personal lang.
Mayor or president is your question.
Tama.
In my opinion, she is the
Personal.
best person to lead our country as president.
Yay!
Okay, ano may-
Yay! Okay! Yan. Maraming kinilig dun, ha? O, pili nuts 2 po. Ano dito ang nagawa mo na pwedeng isa o pwedeng both? Yan, po. Ay, mga aso ko, tumigil kayo. Magsunog ng kilay sa pag-aaral o magsunog ng litrato ng ex-boyfriend? Ano dyan ang nagawa mo na?
Magsunog ng kilay sa pag-aaral.
Yes. Okay. Napilitang manood ng pelikula na hindi mo type o nangulit ng isang tao na manood ng isang pelikula na gustong-gusto mo?
Napilitang manood ng pelikula.
Yan. Ito, bilang abogado naman, nagtanggol ng isang kliyente na hindi ka masyado naniniwala sa version niya ng kwento or naghimok ng isang kliyente na aminin na lang niya ang kasalanan kapalit ng mas mababang sentensya.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
I think lahat naman ng tao may karapatan sa batas. So, I don't know. I've had a range of experiences as a lawyer. So,
Sige.
for me,
Gawin-
in the end, as long as justice is served.
Yan. Ganoon na, client-lawyer confidentiality na lang yan. Sige. Napagkamalan ka na ba? Ito, maganda. Sana nakikinig ang iyong mami, mami Gwen. Napagkamalan ka na ba na kapatid mo lang daw ang iyong mami? O napagkamalan ka na ba na ikaw mismo si Governor Gwen Garcia?
Yung dalawa, kapatid ko, ako siya.
Mayor Gwen, ha? Ay, Governor Gwen, ha? Sige, Ina, ikaw naman.
Okay, next po ay charot or true lalo. You answer charot if it's not true. True lalo if true.
Yan.
Naniniwala ka ba na itutuloy talaga at wala nang atrasan ang pagkakandidato ni PRRD sa pagka-vice-presidente?
True lalo.
Pinaliwanag na po sa inyo na pinaliwanag na po ninyo na isa lang sa mag-ama na Duterte ang tatakbo sa eleksyon. Pero, naniniwala ba kayo na sa kasabihang wala namang imposible?
True lalo.
At sakali na tumakbo nga at manalo si Mayor Sara sa pagkapangulo, totoo ba ang pangamba at pahayag ng ilan na wala siyang kukunin sa mga dating tauhan ni PRRD sa kanyang gabinete?
Hindi pa siya nagdeklara na tatakbo siya.
Mami, charot o trulolo lang po ang sagot?
Or,
Ayaw pasilo ni ma'am
Okay.
talaga. Sige.
Magagawa mo rin kaya na sa sobrang galit mo sa isang tao ay masapak mo rin?
Yan. Charot o trulalo? May tendency ka? May tendency ka ba?
I will stand for the rights of the underprivileged if need be.
Yan, sige. Oo.
Ayaw mo ba magpagupit tulad ng mga hairstyle ni Mayor Sara noon na nagpakalbo or ano ba't ni kalbo eh?
Oo, yung mga may line eh.
Ano ba tawag doon?
Hardcore. Yan.
True lalo.
Mm.
Self-expression naman yan, di ba?
Apo,
Yeah, no,
apo.
ako I liked it when Mayor Sara had that haircut. But anyway,
Exactly.
nakakatulaan ka ba ng mister mo na
Yan.
gupitan siya ngayong pandemic lockdown?
Ano yan? Sorry?
Pinagkakatiwalaan ka na ba ng mister mo na gupitan siya ngayong lockdown?
Oo, nagawa ko na several times.
Wow!
Okay, many people really do that. Itong last segment ay say mo sa Bisaya.
Yan.
So,
May
magbigay
click.
po kayo ng reaction ninyo sa mga pahayag nito in Bisaya. Okay, tama
Okay.
no, Michael? Ganon.
Yan.
Okay. Anong say mo sa salitang
Answer
Bisaya?
in Bisaya.
Anong say mo sa salitang Bisaya sa nagsasabi na pabebe pa daw si Mayor Sara at dapat magdeklara na ng kanyang kandidatura?
Napasalamaton kayo si Mayor Sara sa tanan na nagpahayag sa ilang suporta alang sa iyang pagka-presidente sa Pilipinas. Apan mo na iyang desisyon tungod kay dako kayo iyang pagtamod sa iyang amahan.
Yan. Okay.
Anong say mo sa salitang Bisaya sa nagsasabing masyadong feelingera daw si Mayor Sara na kumuha lang daw ng kasikatan sa kanyang ama?
Nakita na nato ang nabuhat ni Mayor Sara isip mayor sa Davao o bisan pa man o anak siya sa presidente. Nakita po nato na naagid siya yung kapabilidad na mahimong epektibo nga mayor na kanunay na naglantaw sa kahimtang sa atong mga kaigsuon ng Pilipino.
Yan.
Okay.
Oo.
Go,
Konti lang
Michael,
ako.
ikaw
Gets,
na.
konti lang na gets ko doon. Ang hirap kasi medyo okay. Anong say mo sa salitang Bisaya? Dahil Bisaya din ito sa mga nagpapakilalang kamag-anak at kaapelido ng mga Duterte. Di ba meron po siya ng mga kamag-anak na outspoken ngayon na hindi raw dapat pagkatiwalaan ng mag-ama. Hindi sila karapat-dapat at wala daw Duterte dapat na umupo sa pwesto. Maikli lang, ma'am. Yan, sige. Anong sasabi mo doon sa mga Duterte ngayon?
Wala pa ko'y nadunggan nga inana nga mga deklarasyon apan ang atong nakita no more than a majority of Filipinos
Bisaya, ma'am.
nakita. Bisaya. Naghan kayo sa atong mga kaigsuonang Pilipino ang nagpahayag o nagpakita na alang kanila si Mayor Sara gayon ang angay na mahimong presidente o malipayon sila kung naay Duterte tandem. Mao na ang atong nakita sa mga surveys na gipahayag sa pipila ka semana nga milabay.
Parang walang masamang sinabi si ma'am doon sa mga nagpapahayag na yun sa salita sa Bisaya. Anong say mo sa salitang Bisaya sa mga Taga-Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao tungkol sa pagpili ng mga kandidato sa papalapit na eleksyon?
Sa tanaw nato no, daghan gyud kayo sa atong mga kaigsuonan nga nagpahayag nga si Mayor Sara ang ilang gusto na mahimong presidente sa 2022 ug mapasalamaton kayo si Mayor Sara alang niini. Iyan ang gipahayag sa atong mga kaigsuonan na bisan pa man og di siya mudagan mapasalamaton siya og nanghinaot siya ug nakighiusa siya sa atong mga kaigsuonang Pilipino nga naghandom nakitang tanan makaangkon og hayag nga kaugmaon alang kanato sa atong mga pamilya. Maunang sa umaabot na 2022 elections, hinaot paunta na atong nauna-on pagmaayo kung kinsa ang atong pilion kay mao kana ang magiya kanato unsaon pagbarog kontra ni ining pandemya na COVID-19.
Yan. Naintindihan nyo yun, guys, ha? Okay, ha? Sana nakuha nyo yun. Last na, break muna tayo sa salitang Bisaya. Isa ang pinakamalambing sa mga salita. You will notice, parang hinukay namin ng konti ang love life mo because you're the hottest couple daw sa Liloan. Wow! Okay, ma'am, ha? Anong Bisaya? Yan. Anong Bisaya ang gusto mong sabihin sa iyong mister? Yan. Sa kanyang pagsuporta at patuloy na pagmamahal sa happy anniversary over a decade na ata kay ma'am. No? Anong Bisaya gusto mo sabihin sa kanya? Yan. Kay Duke. Yan, kay Duke. Yan.
Sa akong gipangga o gimahal na si Duke Frasco, daghan kayong salamat niining daghang tuig na imong gipakita na kanako ang imong pagmahal o pagbati ug sa imo nang giingon kanako kanunay ikaw sabyod ang kapikas sa akong kasing-kasing ug sumpay sa akong kinabuhi. Gihigugma ta ikaw.
Yeah, higugma ko nimo daw, ha? Okay. Kilig! Kilig! Kilig!
Ratatak! Ratsadang tanong, tapatan at tarang, tahan.
Parang
sa
nakakalimutan, hindi ko naintindihan.
Hindi ba? Kasi may kasing-kasing puso. Yun, alam ko eh, kasing-kasing. Saka binanggit niya, naigugma ko nimo. Yan,
Naigugma.
I love you.
But anyway, thank you very much for your time and agreeing to guest on our program. Liloan, Cebu Mayor Christina, na po ang spokesperson po ni Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte. Thank you, ma'am, for your time. Happy Wednesday.
We're hoping to see you.
Daghang salamat, Ina and Michael.
We hope to see you in the podium wherein the merong emblem sa likod. Pero a few words po, ma'am, para sa ating audience.
Well, thank you again for having me on your show. O sa tanan natong mga kaigsuunang Pilipino sa tibuok Pilipinas, sa lahat ng ating mga kababayan sa buong Pilipinas at sa buong mundo, maraming salamat sa patuloy na suporta na inyong binibigay kay Mayor Sara. Gikan sa kasing-kasing ni Mayor Sara o gikan sa akong kasing-kasing. Daghan gyud kaayong salamat. Mayor Sara joins our fellow Filipinos in the hopes that all of us will be able to face a brighter future for our country, for the welfare of our families, our children, and for generations to come. Daghan kaayong salamat kaninyong tanan.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Have a good
Very clear.
Wednesday.
Thank you.
Nako na po. Okay.
Ayan, yan.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mayor Christina Frasco ng Liloan, Cebu. Napahaba tayo, no? Naku,
Hindi, ma'am. Ikaw na magbasa kasi gamit ko yung phone ko. Hindi ko
hello na lang tayo dahil kakaunti lang naman ng ating mahina ang ating mga viewers ng commenters ngayon na Tita Lake, hello.
Kasi nakinig sila eh. Naghihintay sila ng announcement eh.
Edwin Chongko, Omir Depositar, Calvadores, Raul, at Ray Garcia. Hello at maraming salamat sa inyong mga comments. Diyan po nagtatapos ang Politiskoop ngayong araw. We will see you, I will see you tomorrow and Michael will see you on Friday. Have a good one. May abangan, may
announcement si Mary's ko.
Anong oras ba?
Hindi pa niya hindi ko pa kasi gamit ko yung phone ko. Dito ko nakikita yung mga announcements ng mga kaya siguro ang dami nagtatawagan na eh. Baka tinatanong ako kung
pag-usapan natin yan malamang on Friday. Thanks, guys.
Nakakunin natin si Mary's ko. God willing, mahatak natin sila. Exactly sa atin. Dahil nag-ratatap na rin siya sa atin. Yun guys, maging mapanuri. Maging mapanuri, maging mapagmahal, maging responsable. Bye! I love ya!
Bye!
Ang Coronavirus Disease 2019 o COVID-19 ay isang nakakahawang sakit dulot ng bagong diskubre na coronavirus. Ang virus na ito ay karaniwang natatagpuan sa mga hayop at hindi pa nakita sa mga tao noon. Base sa World Health Organization, ang karaniwang sintomas na dulot ng COVID-19 ay lagnat, pagkapagod at dry cough. Ilan sa mga pasyente ay nakaranas ng sipon at baradong ilong, sore throat at diarrhea. Samantala, isa lamang sa 6 na pasyente ang nagkakaroon ng hirap sa paghinga at nagiging malubha ang kalagayan. Meron lamang mga individual na tinatawag na asymptomatic o mga nagpositibo sa COVID-19 ngunit hindi nagkaroon ng simptomas at hindi nakaramdam ng anumang sakit. Habang patuloy pa rin dinidevelop at sinusuri sa pamamagitan ng mga clinical trial ang bakuna at mga piling gamot laban sa COVID-19, maaari mo pa rin pigilan ang paglaganap nito. Paalala ng mga eksperto, kung wala namang gagawin sa labas, manatili lamang sa bahay. Obserbahan ang physical distancing. Siguraduhin na napapanatili mo ang 1 metro o higit pa na layo sa ibang tao. Maghugas ng kamay. Iwasang hawakan ang iyong mata, ilong at bibig. Magsuot ng face mask. Ugaliin ding takloban ang iyong ilong at bibig kung uubo at babahing. Kapag nakaramdam naman ng lagnat, ubo at hirap sa paghinga, magpatingin na sa doktor. Tandaan, walang problema na hindi nalalagpasan. Makinig at sumunod sa mga payo ng mga eksperto para manatiling ligtas.